Greetings, brothers and sisters. This is the continuation of what true grace is. I just want to say that to the people who are true believers, the only way for the believers to exist in times like this is to have that type of grace, that type of favor. Do you know that you can manipulate the job that you work? You control the environment. The son and daughter of God control the very environment that you work in. When they killed the Messiah, the word said it was impossible for death to hold him, because you cannot kill wherever the word is. The word will continually rise above the things of this world. If you look at every case where a person have kept the word of God, and you can see that where the grace, that word that was in that person was always elevated, lifted up. Nobody can hold you. Nobody can hold me down. If I have a problem on my job, if I have a problem in my neighborhood, if I have a problem in this world, I have always, he has always remembered me because I held to that word. It is not the person, it's the word that the person holds on to. Remember in the book of Daniel how it says, they that know their God shall be strong. They shall be strong, and they shall do exploits. I don't care what people say. I don't care what's facing you. I have had dreams and I have come to visions that when people had sought to hunt me down, I have seen in visions in the night, right here on my very street that I live on, I've seen tanks from the end time, airplanes and bombs falling, and all of a sudden there was a knock on my door. And a messenger, an angel, came and told me and my family it's time for y'all to go. I can remember as we're walking down the block, I could see people's houses are being blown into pieces and military tanks on every corner. But the messenger, the angel, we walked right past these things and nobody saw us. I'm talking about the grace of God. I remember one time we were in a test and we was in a trial. And me and my wife, and I think we had at the time, we had maybe 2 little children. Yes, we did. We had two, my twin daughters. And I lived in an apartment where they paid all the bills, but we had a landlord that for some reason, he just wouldn't pay the water bill. We had paid our mortgage and all of these things, but he didn't pay the water bill. And I remember having to go to a friend of ours to get gallons of water just so that we can wash up, just so that we can have some water to drink, because the landlord didn't pay the water bill. And I remember my wife looking at me and saying, tonight we're going to have water. And I said, well, what do you mean? She said, tonight we're going to have water. Oh, a couple hours had went past. I think maybe about 10:30 at night, I heard a knock on the door. And a man came to the door and said, I'm here to cut your water on. And the only thing I could do was just look at my wife because I was just in amazement. I am telling you, if you keep the word, nothing will be impossible to you. I remember my wife had came to me and told me of a dream that she had about the end times. And she said that People were hungry in the land. And she said that the Creator, Yahuwah, had told her to put her hands on the ground and pray. And when she put her hands on the ground, she said the ground opened up and food came out the ground and we was able to feed everybody. He is absolutely, I'm trying to tell you, he will provide a way for those who believe. I say real grace is when God honors his word. God will never forsake his word, and he will never forsake the people that hold his word. If you look at any case, think of it. Just think of it. Even the 3 Hebrew boys, when they were in the fiery furnace, when they opened up the furnace, it killed the men who threw them in the furnace. It killed some of the men. But when they went into the furnace, there was something in there with them. One like unto the Son of Man. I am only saying these things because you have to have faith to walk with Yahuwah. If you don't have faith, you cannot walk with him. You have the power to control the life you live. If it's a life of faith, he will provide the way. You know, many times people, they perish because they think that God will not do these things for his people. I can't tell you how many times that I've had encounters with messengers, angels, real encounters. I can't tell you how many times he's used people, moved people, manipulated the environment, caused things to work out for our favor. Will you trust God? Brothers and sisters, will you trust God? Shalom.